For NHL fans growing up in New Brunswick in the 1960s and 70s and 80s, there were two rinks that the fans would go to. The first, of course, was the Montreal Forum in Montreal to watch the Canadiens. Usually couldn't afford to go to Toronto because it was farther and much more expensive. But when the Frankton Express arrived in New Brunswick as the farm club at the Quebec Nordiques, more and more people from New Brunswick, especially from northern New Brunswick, started going to this venerable rink that was built by Jean Beliveau and not say rebuilt by Guy Lafleur, but was made a little bit more famous. So today, in a tribute to Guy Lafleur week, we'll be doing several podcasts over the next few days in tribute to the Flower before his funeral next week. We're going to talk about his second home, the Colisée de Quebec. Now, the Colisée de Quebec, later known as Colisée Pepsi, is a defunct multi-purpose arena located in Quebec City. Now, it was a home in the Nordiques from 1972 to 95. They played the WHA up until 79, and from 1979 to 80 to 95 before they moved to Colorado. Now, it was also home of my second favorite team, the Quebec Remparts of the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League from 99 until its closing in 2015. Now, the Colisée is also the host for the very, very important Quebec International Pee Wee Hockey Tournament, and it was held annually there in February until its closing in 2015. Now, over the years, almost 2,300 young hockey players from 16 countries participated there annually as a showcase for future stars. Now, the Barrel Vault Arena was originally built in 1949, seating 10,034, to replace a building on the same site that had burned down a year earlier. Built by architects Renfred de Bouchard, with designs drawn up by Robert Blatter and F. Caro, the arena was a mix of international-style exterior and Art Deco interior. It was again known in English as the house that Beliveau built, as was often filled to capacity in his early years to watch Jean Beliveau star for the Quebec Aces, before he moved up the NHL and the Habs. 2 decades later, sellout crowds came to see Guy Lafleur as a member of the Quebec Remparts, before he too would join the Canadiens. Now, the Colisée again hosted the Quebec International Tournament from 1960 to 2015. After the tournament originated at the Quebec Arena in Parc Victoria, it was promoted by Gérald Bolduc and Paul Dumont, who also had connections with the Quebec Remparts. Now, Le Colisée underwent major renovations in 1980. The old entrance was taken down and replaced with a massive glass facade, and the seating capacity almost jumped 50% to 15,750 to meet NHL standards of that era after the Nordiques made the jump from the WHA to the NHL. Now, PepsiCo bought the naming rights on November 18, 1999, and its final capacity was 15,176. Now, coincidentally, the former Quebec Nordiques, now known as Colorado Avalanche, currently play at what was formerly known as the Pepsi Center, now Ball Arena in Denver. Now, the Flyers did play the final home games of the 68 season at Colisée after the roof blew off their home arena, the Spectrum. Of course, their affiliate for the Flyers was the Quebec Aces of the AHL. Now, the arena hosted the 1971 Memorial Cup Championship Series, in which the Remparts defeated the Edmonton Oil Kings 2-1. Since the championship switched to a tournament format, the Coliseum has hosted it in 91, 2003, and 2015. Internationally, the first game of the 1974 Summit Series between Canadian WHA All-Stars and the Soviet national team was played at the Coliseum, as were one game in each of the 76 and 91 Canada Cups. The arena co-hosted the 1978 IIHF World Under-20 Championship with Montreal, and also hosted, along with Halifax, the 2008 Worlds. Rendezvous 87, a 2-game series between the NHL All-Stars and the Soviet national team, was another highlight in the building's history. Of course, the Colisée has also hosted many big concerts over the years and with a myriad of artists. Now, Quebec City has entertained several proposals in recent years to return NHL hockey to the city. Prior to the completion of Centre Vidéotron, most of these proposals envisioned using the Colisée as a temporary home while a new arena was built next to the existing property. On October 10, 2009, Quebec City newspapers such as Le Soleil reported that negotiations were held between the city and the NHL concerning the possibility and pertinence of relocating or creating an NHL franchise into the city. Now, former Nordiques owner and Canadian Olympic Committee President Marcel Aubu originally said that there were no plans to demolish the Colisée Pepsi, even if a new arena was built. Aubu mentioned a prospective future Winter Olympics bid, among other justifications for maintaining the existing arena. As part of the agreement constructing the new arena, an additional $7 million was set aside for renovating the Colisée should the city have landed a potential NHL expansion franchise before the new arena was completed in 2015. Now, the Vidéotron Center opened on September 8, 2015, and the Colisée's final event was a Metallica concert on September 14, 2015 for the Lords of Summer Tour. 2 days later, the band would also play the first concert at the Vidéotron Center. The Colisée was then closed to the public, with minimal operations and maintenance since. Now, in September 2019, the Colisée's neon sign was removed pending and expecting demolition. Expo City announced plans to sell 4,000 of the arena's wooden seats to the public on a weekend of October 19 and 20th, 2019, while the remaining 11,000 plastic seats would be given to municipalities, schools, and other institutions. The city planned to start demolition by summer 2020 and finish by December 18, 2020. It was announced in 2021 that demolition would not proceed, as the building had been leased to be used as a storage space. The lease runs until September 2023. Now, what will happen after then is anybody's guess, because, again, it depends if an NHL franchise or maybe another franchise will come into Quebec City, to take over. Now, the capacity has always been over 10,000. From 49 to 73, 10,034. 73 to 76, 10,004. 76 to 81, 10,012. 81 to 84, 15,250. And from 84 to 87, 15,434. 87 to 2009, 15,399, and 2009 to 2015, 15,176. Now, my members of the Colisée have a lot to do with the fact of the very interesting sightlines, because from a photographer's standpoint and a videographer's standpoint, it wasn't the brightest rink in the league, but some of the shadows were quite interesting. Not a very good rink for photography. Now, they had improved the lighting, I think, by Rendezvous 87. But back in the day when Montreal and Quebec had the 82, 84, 85, and 87 playoffs, it would be spotty lighting, almost like you would see in a 3,000 to 5,000 seater rink. But again, 1977, that's where the AFCO Cup title went to the Nordiques. That was a very big victory for it. Key games as well include the first game between Montreal and Quebec in 1980, and ironically, Quebec never defeated Montreal in a series on their home ice. They had defeated Montreal in 82 in the Forum, 85 in the Forum, but 84 was in Montreal. 87 was in Montreal, 93. So it's a very interesting point of event. Now, what a lot of tape people remember, there was various promo films of Guy Lafleur in that 71 season for the Rampart, showing his skill like the old-fashioned early 70 kind of dramatic, the NFL film style of video with Lafleur's mutton chops. And there's a very, very famous video, I think it's only 15 seconds, of Belleville in the breakaway for the Quebec Aces and out-deking the goalie. So, I give an example. The Aitken Centre has a personality in Frankton, and many rinks across the Maritimes, Eastern Canada do. The Colisée, it all depends. Is it a Nordique rink? Is it a Rampart rink? Is it Pee Wee tournament? What's kind of ironic of the Colisée, and a lot of people don't know this, most rinks in the history of the NHL have had double logos on their frontispiece, like at their center ice, but with the Colisée, they had the Nordique logo and the Rampart logo. So you would never change the ice. I think you would paint it in or the way it was done. So it was very unique. If you didn't know what that logo was, because the Quebec Rampart logo is one of the best in sports history. But as an American, if you're watching a Colisée game, you're saying, what the hell is that logo? Because it looks like almost like a cartoon character you would see of a children's story about a castle. It's quite, it's probably And by the way, that Quebec Rempart logo reflected the cartoonish style logos were very prominent in Quebec for games and tournaments back in the day, late 60s, early 70s, very, very Quebecois. So again, house that Belleville built, the house that Guy Lafleur, not say rebuilt, but leased for a few years, all those great Pee Wee players over the years that played the tournament. I'm thinking there's literally close to 1,000 NHLers and pros have played at the international tournament because that's the big scouting. This would be comparable to a junior high combine for the NFL. No joke. Some of the top players were there. And if you make it in AAA Pee Wee, I've covered AAA Pee Wee over the years. A lot of the players, the Restigers, Red Wings, and the old NBA AAA Pee Wee Hockey League, Carleton, New York, Victoria, different associations, you can find a lot of good prospects on the Pee Wee level. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's a short history of the Colisée de Quebec, or Pepsi Colisée. If you like what we're doing here, give us a like, comment, or subscribe. And if you have any memories of the Rempart, Belleville, Lafleur, different people that played at the Pee Wee tournament, let me know here. I like your input. Requests are always appreciated and always considered. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, we're in the midst of a snowstorm in southern New Brunswick as we speak, April 28th. No joke, and I felt this is a tribute to the 1975 Montreal Buffalo series where I think there was a major snowstorm in New Brunswick and eastern Quebec. I think around the 20th of April, give or take. Very bizarre weather in the Maritimes in Quebec. Very, very hockey season-esque. Thanks for listening. Bye.